please welcome Larry Hoffer to the stage. So now that Peter has set up that I am not a good truth teller, I can say whatever I want to, and it doesn't really matter. But I just want to welcome you and echo Colt and Julia. We are so excited to have all of you here in New Orleans. When past President Cooper Moore and I came to New Orleans in February to look at hotels, January of 2024 seemed so far away, and we were just so excited to be starting this forum tradition up again. And now here we are, and I just know that in December, basically the whole month just flew by, and we wound up here, right after the Sugar Bowl. So this was the host hotel for the University of Texas. So sorry to all of you. Congratulations to UW. There were definitely some people from UW here in the hotel rubbing it in to the Texas fans, but this conference is the start, as Colt said, of something new. We want to know what you want, because the beauty of AIS is everything is new, because every year we get new members as new students come into school. This organization is yours. It belongs to you. We exist because of you. So we want to know how we can serve you better, how we can help you as you head towards your practice of the profession, what skills and things that you need, what connections you want to make. So I would encourage you, if you have the time, to let us know. Let Colt, Julia, me, any one of our amazing staff know. Because that's what we want more than anything else, is to keep improving this organization and keep strengthening it to make it better for you. As some of you may know, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer over the summer, and I had surgery, and honestly there was a lot of times where I wasn't sure that I would be able to be here. I felt really bad for the staff if that was going to happen, because I had it all in my head. I'm really thankful to be here, but mostly I'm really thankful to be here with all of you. I hope that this weekend is an incredible opportunity. You are in one of the most amazing cities in the country. Not only is it fun, but the architecture is absolutely beautiful and diverse. And this, as we said in the land acknowledgement, New Orleans was built with diversity in mind. And our first keynote speaker, I know, is going to talk about that a little bit. So, enjoy, have a great time, be responsible, because I'm the one that's going to get the call. So please don't keep me up all night when you're out enjoying. But most of all, we hope that you continue to tell us how we can serve you, so that when you look back on your time with AIS, you felt like it was an investment in your career and that we helped you in some small way. So, with that being said, it is my great good fortune to introduce Kimberly Dowdell. You probably have seen her face. Recently, she was inaugurated as the 100th president of the American Institute of Architects. We enjoy a very rich partnership with AIA, and one of the programs that we're proudest of is the Crit Scholar Program, which AIA and AIS co-sponsor. We have a new class that we'll be congratulating very soon. So with that, it is my immense pleasure to introduce number 100, Kim Dowdell.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon. It's such a delight to be here to just the entire AIS team for putting this all together. You've done an amazing job so far. I know we just started, but it feels good, right? So this is my first speaking engagement as AIA president, so this is very exciting. I just wanted to start by talking a little bit about the importance of community. It's wonderful that you all have this community in AIAS, and certainly one of the things I'll do towards the end of my remarks is pitch for you to join the AIA community once you graduate. But I think about how important it is to have people who are in your corner to support you, to ask questions, to just be of support. And so I think about 20 years ago when I was a student and sitting in seats like yours now, listening to older people talk about what they're doing and what just kind of listening to me in terms of my ambition to the future. So my path actually started when I was much younger than a student, like a college student or grad student. I was 11 years old in Detroit, which is where I grew up. How many people from Michigan? Detroit? All right, got a few. All right, nice. But Detroit in the early 90s, or as I think younger people call it now, the late 1900s, was undergoing a good amount of disinvestment, and so a lot of the really beautiful old buildings that I would see in my kind of daily commute to school or around the city were starting to get boarded up and abandoned, graffiti, all the stuff. And so originally I wanted to be a doctor, and then at 11 I had a change of heart. I decided to become an architect because I learned about architecture in an art class. And I said to myself, well, if I become an architect, then I can help fix these buildings and help kind of be like a doctor for the built environment. So that's kind of my origin story. So then I went off to architecture school and joined a number of student organizations. One of them was affiliated, it's a different name now, but affiliated with NOMA. And so my pathway to the AIA presidency was actually kind of initiated as a NOMA student, as a sort of entrant in the NOMA student design competition 20 years ago. So that's kind of the start. But one of the things I'll say about being in school is, that's a place where there are no limitations on what you can work on and think about. Like the sky is the limit, and that's very much the case for you now. So stay in school as long as you can. But in all seriousness, I know that education is very expensive, and so one of the things that we're working on at AIA is helping just to make the economics of architecture make more sense. And I know that's a big topic, so I'll kind of get to that in a little bit. But one of the great things about being in a community in college was, again, that support system. And so that evolved into me joining the NOMA board right after school. I was a university liaison, and I think many of you might know that I was the national president of NOMA in 2019 and 2020, followed by my friend Jason Pugh here, who was the president in 21 and 22. You'll hear from him here pretty soon. But the point is, that leadership experience really helped to prepare me for today. Just a few weeks on the job as AIA president, and it's really exciting to be here before you today, just to talk about the power and potential of design. It's been a long time since I had that initial vision of what I could do as an architect, and I think one of the areas of focus that I have for this year is actually helping to elevate the sort of public perception of what architects do, and a very specific initiative that we're looking at, really driving forward is the Chief Architect Initiative. So it's interesting, actually, I was in New Orleans a couple years ago doing the Mayor's Institute on City Design charrette, and one of the, essentially how that works is different design professionals are paired with mayors from around the country, and the mayors talk about some of their most pressing civic issues. And architects and planners are kind of there to help them solve those. And the mayor of Monroe, Louisiana, his name is Mayor Friday Ellis. I was actually just texting with him earlier today. And he said something really interesting that I don't think I'll ever forget. He said, see beautiful, feel beautiful. And I think about the importance of health and looking at health equities. That's another area of focus that I have. But just thinking about how our built environment really shapes us. There's a famous quote from Winston Churchill that first we shape our buildings and thereafter they shape us. And so, you really do have a lot of, potential power in your hands as architects and designers. And no matter what you do, you are the authors of the future. And so that's one of the things I think is really cool about architecture. Like, you really do have the opportunity to design the future for all of us. And so one of the things that I want the chief architect to do is be a key advisor to mayors like Mayor Friday Ellis and mayors, frankly, all over the country, to help advise them on issues around climate action, around health equity. And health equity is something that's near and dear to my heart, again, because originally I wanted to be a doctor, but also I spent a good part of my time in Chicago, and there's a 30-year life expectancy gap from one part of Chicago to the other. The zip code that's sort of on the north side of Chicago, which is more affluent, the average life expectancy is around 90 years of age. And on the south side, the life expectancy is around 60 years of age. And of course, architects alone can't solve that issue, but we sure have a role to play in that solution. And so I want more cities to see the value of architects in particular. So hopefully you all will learn what you need to learn in school and go out and get experience and maybe fill some of these chief architect roles in the future. So I have a slogan for this year, and a few people might have these pens already. We're gonna order some more because we're already out. But it says more in 24, and so that's what I want for all of us. And I think it's up to you to kind of define what you want that more to be. But for me, in the context of AIA, I want three things: more money, more members, and more mission. Not more money for me as a person, although that's welcomed. I'm specifically speaking about the money that architects and those who are sort of in the pipeline to become architects, the money that we make doesn't quite align with the value that we create, and I think that's something that has been lacking for many decades. And currently architecture is somewhat of a profession of privilege, and we all know how expensive architecture school is. 5, 6, or 7 years of education, and then coming out, starting salaries are just not quite where they should be, right? And we know this, and so I really want to be hyper-focused on helping us move the needle on that, because I think that's going to really help with some of the, just generally it's going to help, but some of the inequities that we see relative to demographics, I think that will help address those issues as well. So more money. More members. So the AIA has about 98,000 members right now. I'm the 100th president. I'd like for us to get to 100,000 members. So hopefully, how many of you are graduating in May, June? Okay, so I would really like for you all to join the AIA. In fact, to sweeten the pot, there is actually an incentive for you to join right after graduation. I think your first 18 months are free, so check it out on the website, aia.org. Just to really get you in, so you can test it out, see if you like it, and hopefully we're really providing that value that you will either pay yourself or have your firm pay for your renewal each year. And that's the other thing about the membership. We as an organization, we must articulate the value that we create. We have, a really robust, talented staff. We've got staff here today, thank you for being here, who do so much for our members and help us to achieve our mission. And our mission, which I'll get to in a moment, that's something that's really important to us, and we have to do a better job of communicating exactly what we're doing to, one, help advance the profession, but also to advance climate action and equity. And I think that's something that we can all agree is important. And so those are the two kind of strategic goals of the AIA. So those are the items that we really want more of. Again, more money to help us to actually address the shortage of architects that exists. And we really need you to continue what you're doing in school, graduate, join firms, and become a part of this larger community. But then also join the AIA, which there's strength in numbers, and so we're the ones who are advocating for the profession on Capitol Hill with mayors, with governors, the people who really are in a position to help us help, you know, the broader society. And I think you probably have all heard at this point, you know, our duty as architects is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. And so that's kind of the call to action for you all. You know, more money, more members, more mission, more in 24, that's kind of the thing I want you to remember. And once we get these pens available, you can probably order them online. And I kind of want to end with, again, thanking AIS for having us. You know, thanks to our alliance partners for joining us in this work to really advance the profession, because, you know, this profession is pretty amazing because, again, we see the future and help create it. And so I just want you to feel empowered and inspired to know that what you're doing will make a difference, but you need community to help you actually advance your goals. So leverage this community, you know, continue to contribute, and then join the AIA as soon as you graduate, and let's go change the world.